There's blood everywhere.
I think we may have a homicide.
I'm trying not to freak out. I'm not supposed to see that, man.
That is your last lie and your last goddamn broken promise to me. You're a hoe.
911, where is your emergency? Hi. We want an emergency.
Okay, what's going on?
Oh my God. My husband's friend is dead. Oh my God.
Okay, calm down. Did you say he's dead?
I think so. He's on the floor. There's blood everywhere. Oh my God, he's just laying there.
Listen, I need you and your husband to back out of the residence and wait outside for the officers. Do you hear me?
I'm gonna throw up.
What is his name?
Oh my God. Brad McGarry.
It started with a single call, an unresponsive man in a basement. What we found that day in Bellaire, Ohio, would unravel a hidden life, a trail of secrets, and a betrayal no one saw coming. This is not just a murder story. This is a story about identity, deception, and a fatal end to forbidden love. Brad McGarry was a fixture in his community, warm, kind, and unafraid to be himself. Openly gay in a conservative town, he lived authentically and made friends wherever he went, which made what happened to him all the more chilling. On May 7th, 2017, Brad was found lying face down in his basement, shot twice in the head. There were no signs of forced entry. Nothing was stolen. The scene was methodical, calculated. Neighbors were shocked. Friends were devastated.
It was surreal. It is something that happens on TV and movies. It's not something that happens in real life.
We do holidays together. Yeah, he's one of my best friends.
Out a robbery, the killer was someone Brad knew, someone he trusted enough to let in. We started digging into Brad's personal life, and that's where the trail got complicated.
My mom told me, and I fell to the floor. I was just crying. I couldn't get myself together. I just felt like my soul had left my body. Brad meant the world to me. He was just someone that I could count on to make me laugh or make me smile or just whatever I needed. He was there.
One of Brad McGarry's closest friends was David Kinney, the man who found Brad's lifeless body.
I'm trying not to freak out. I'm sorry. I can't not see him, man.
It is horrific.
I just can't imagine why somebody would hurt him. I mean, I really can't.
Chief Aller starts with Mary Kay Milliken.
We'll do our best. Definitely want to find the person that did this. Is there anything you could think of that might help us out at all?
Yeah, I mean, he liked to drink. Yeah, he kind of got crazy, but he would drink and loud and sarcastic, and he could maybe piss somebody off. But he did have nice jewelry. He had at least 2 pretty flashy looking rings. He had at least 3 nice necklaces. He liked to show it off, and he could be kind of showy at times, and I just wondered if somebody tried to rob him or hurt him.
Each one of the drawers in all the areas looked like they were pulled out to the same length, if you would, or same distance. That struck us as being somewhat odd.
It was a rush job, it was sloppy, and it definitely started to feel like a staged crime scene. It was made to look like something that it wasn't. So, if this was a staged crime scene, this was not a burglary or a robbery, we gotta start asking questions of who benefits or who would have been the best position to have something to do with his death.
Investigators have a possible suspect, but his identity remains a partial mystery. Investigators return to the crime scene, looking for evidence to confirm their theory.
You're doing due diligence on any case and pursuing any possible factor what could have led to Brad's death.
You really ransacked. There's 3 drawers open. Spare room with a bunch of tennis shoes.
The crime scene itself presents a mystery, and investigators aren't sure how to interpret the evidence.
You have a homicide, you got a ransacked house, it's pointing this way, but it's not feeling that way.
thing that surprises me here is it's not going through enough. It's kind of rifled a little bit.
You walk into any scene, these places have feels, you know, and nobody was feeling this as a robbery, but that's what it wanted you to think.
He had everything saved on his phone to basically expose DJ, because that's how angry he was at the way that DJ was treating him. And he told me that, and I remember I asked Brad, I said, dude, you gotta realize he's a married man. And he goes, I understand that, but you gotta realize what DJ's done to me. Meaning that, you know, he keeps coming back, he keeps calling, he keeps, you know, using me.
Up until a couple hours ago, our whole idea of the relationship of David Kenny and Brad McGarry is that they were very, very close friends. Now, we learned that David Kenny and Brad McGarry were involved in a sexual relationship. We had to look, was that somehow connected with Brad's killing? There's time to have a different conversation with David Kenny.
2 days before his death, Brad was seen dining with a friend, a man who, on paper, had everything to lose. Married, father, church-going, but beneath the surface, there was more. When questioned, he claimed innocence, but his timeline was shaky, his behavior nervous, evasive. And then a break, text messages, explicit, emotional, and incriminating. It was clear, this was more than friendship. The texts revealed a romantic relationship. Brad had been involved with this man for months. He had confided in friends that the man was struggling with his identity, with the guilt.
Let's talk about you. How close were you and Brad?
Very close.
Did you say you were his best friend?
Yes, sir. He got real close with me. Our families got real close.
He's telling Chief Aller in the interview room, we're just friends, we're just friends, we're just friends. I'm looking through his phone and seeing, we're lovers, we're lovers, we're lovers.
Inside the suspect's home, detectives found a pair of latex gloves, ammunition and clothing with gunshot residue. The walls were closing in, yet he continued to deny everything until the autopsy report hit.
Okay, then what?
He come at me.
Come at you? Show me where he shot me. Show me where.
But it's his analysis of the phone's GPS locator that's the most revealing.
The most important thing is putting him at the crime scene at the time of the murder. Now, all I'm thinking is, I have to tell Chief Aller this because this is going to change the whole aspect of this investigation.
Yeah.
Am I interrupted?
No.
At one point in the surveillance video, you'll see David Kenny arriving at Brad's home, driving his wife's car. Then you'll see Brad return home. And then shortly after Brad returns home, you can see David Kenny leaving the area. A couple hours later, you see David returning in his truck with the family, which is a direct contrast to everything we've been told prior.
I knew you had something to do with Brad's death.
It's just hard, you know?
I know it's hard. It's the hardest thing you've ever done. Just saying.
Brad's been wanting me to leave my wife for a while. Oh, quite a while.
Yeah. I know this.
It's just hard, you know, with like our situation.
At one point, David told him, hey, we can't do this anymore. And Brad was threatening to tell David's wife about the affair.
I told him, I said, yeah, things are going to have to start to stop. Can't take that at all.
What happened?
She hit me, smacked me around a couple times. She got real loud with me. Got kind of like up in my face.
The fatal shot came from behind, execution style, no struggle. This wasn't a crime of passion, it was planned, cold, deliberate. The motive? Desperation to keep a secret buried. Under mounting evidence and pressure, the suspect confessed. Not just to the affair, but to pulling the trigger. He said Brad threatened to expose him. He panicked, and he chose silence with a gun.
Brad grabbed a .22 pistol that he had laying around the basement.
He had it in his hand, just kind of like waving it at me. You know what? I can't believe my emotions this long. I can't believe my emotions this long. Just call it quit.
Brad's life was stolen because someone feared the truth. A life of courage ended by cowardice. But in death, Brad's story forced a reckoning about identity, love, and the cost of living in hiding.
Please just let me talk, Sherry. Please let me talk. He flipped down on me. I never meant to kill my best friend.
You are not that person. It's not you.
I know, that's what I'm a good guy. I got scared. I didn't know what to do.
In a town where silence once ruled, Brad's voice echoes louder than ever. His memory is a reminder: no one should have to die for being who they are.